Wisdom. What wisdom? By Nameless Saint. I often find myself grappling with this question. Wisdom. What wisdom? It's a question that, in my darker moments, feels like a cruel joke. After all, wisdom is supposed to be the light at the end of a long and winding tunnel of experience, yet here I am, still stumbling in the dark. For years, I lived encased in a shell of regret and bitterness. My life seemed like a series of missteps and missed opportunities, a long list of failures and wounds that I could neither heal nor forget. I used to think that wisdom was something only other people had, the lucky few who seemed to navigate life's storms with grace and clarity. To me, wisdom felt like an elusive dream, always out of reach. I held on to my grievances with a stubborn pride, convinced that by nursing my wounds, I was somehow preserving my dignity. The argument with a loved one, the misunderstandings that grew into rifts, it all became a tangled mess of resentment that I dragged behind me like a weight. It wasn't until I began to untangle that mess that I realized something profound. Wisdom doesn't come from external sources. It comes from within. One day, a young woman, eager and curious, came knocking on my door. She was working on a project about the town's elderly residents, and I nearly turned her away, thinking, what could I possibly offer? What wisdom could an old man like me share? But she persisted, and I reluctantly let her in. As we talked, she asked me to reflect on the hardest challenge I'd faced. I confessed that it was the struggle to forgive someone, a dispute that had turned into a chasm. I had been angry for so long that the anger had become a part of me, shaping my thoughts and actions. I clung to it, thinking it was my right to hold on to that pain. But as I spoke, I began to see things differently. Wisdom isn't about having all the answers or living a perfect life. It's about understanding that we are the architects of our own peace. I realized that by clinging to my bitterness, I was locking myself in a prison. Forgiveness wasn't about condoning what had happened. It was about freeing myself from the shackles of resentment. In that moment, I discovered that wisdom is often born from the courage to face our own flaws and let go of what no longer serves us. It's about seeing the world through a lens of compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves. True wisdom lies in recognizing that we have the power to transform our own lives by changing our perspective. So now, when I think about wisdom, I no longer see it as an elusive treasure. I see it as the clarity that comes from understanding our own hearts, the peace that follows when we finally release our grip on past hurts. Wisdom is not something to be acquired from outside. It's something that emerges from within when we dare to confront our own shadows and embrace the light. If you're searching for wisdom, remember this. It's not found in grand gestures or profound declarations. It's found in the quiet moments of self-reflection, in the act of letting go, and in the simple realization that the power to change lies within us. So ask yourself, wisdom? What wisdom? And then look inward, for it is there you'll find the answers you seek.